Hello, welcome back to another Tabletop Talk. Today I have another unboxing for everybody. I've already said in the descriptions what this is, so no surprise. When you get an unboxing, there's always that decision to be made. Do you make it an element of surprise, or do you let the folks know what it is in advance? So with this one in particular, I thought I would let everybody know in advance what it is. So I thought I'd give a little bit of introduction as to what prompted this particular purchase. As most of you know, I've been a lifelong Strat guy, and played that most of my life. I did play some computer games like Diamond Mind. I had Earl Weaver, um, games like that. But Strat was the only cards and dice that I had for a long, long time. And then the last couple years, I've delved in some of the other cards and dice sims, History Maker, Replay, Payoff Pitch. I believe those are the ones that I have. So very happy with the decisions I've made. The games that I have, I enjoy very much. So really wasn't in the market for another baseball sim because trying to play the ones that I have. However, been watching some videos about APBA and like APBA Brian in particular, and then baseball demos had some that he had done with APBA. Dave Gardner has recently got into some APBA baseball. So the videos I've watched, the game didn't seem like that it would appeal to me based on what I had observed from the videos. However, this game has been around longer than all of them, and it's still here and seems to be going strong. So I figured that the game that had that kind of longevity must have something going for it. So I thought in order to be a proper gamer, I needed to at least have one season of APBA in the game, and just to give it a try. Again, just felt like I wanted to have it in my collection because of its longevity, its history, and so because I hadn't had any interest in APBA, I didn't know a lot about it. So after making this purchase and some before, I've been doing some research, watching some people play, trying to watch some YouTube videos, been getting on the Delphi forum to try to get some information on the game. So obviously there's a lot that I didn't know and a lot that I'm still learning. So any of you APBA people feel like chiming in or giving me some help and instruction, I appreciate it. I know the Delphi forums have been very helpful as I have reached out and tried to get some information. Again, because I have had no interest in it in the past, I don't know a lot about it. So even after the last couple weeks of trying to do some research, still with a game with this kind of history, there's a lot to learn. And of course, people have different opinions about different parts of it and the different aspects of it. Its pros, its cons. And so, again, it's still something that I'm interested in. So I'd say one thing that really helped me decide to make this purchase was Brian had said that he started out as Strat and had actually went to APBA. And so typically it seems like it goes the other way, but I could be wrong about that. If I am, forgive me. It's just my observations. So again, it's been on my radar for a long time. So I wanted to get a season, give it a shot. So we will go ahead and open it up. I just wanted to give a little bit of introduction there. And again, I don't think I could call myself the replay gamer if I didn't at least have one season of the granddaddy of them all. So I'm excited to kind of dig in. Having watched people play, I'm sure there's aspects of it that is probably not going to make it my favorite sim. But there's aspects to it that, make it different from some of my other games. And again, I could be wrong. it feels like that there's probably a lot of similarities between this game and Replay Baseball, which is very high on my list of games that I enjoy because of the computer version tops, but also it's just a good game. And so, as I understand it, the creator of that was an APBA person, and that there are some similarities. So, but anyway, I'll show you what I got. As usual, trying to do this without cutting myself or the game. So, looks like everything was packed nicely. So, get rid of that. So, here's what we got. Let me turn it around. So, as you can see, not only did I get the game itself, I got the Master Game Edition. Based on what I had seen, it looked like that the Master version would be probably more in line with what I would enjoy, a little bit more in depth. However, after doing some research, there is definitely some split opinions as to the worth, playability, value of this edition. Again, a lot of dissension when I went to the Delphi forums and kind of asked about the Master version. I started a whole wave of conversation that kind of went in and out of this. So again, quite a bit of division. So one person made the comment that they're still selling it, so that says something, and that makes sense to me. You know, if it was a complete flop, I don't think they would still be selling it. Again, interested to see. I know I've asked around for a few people about the Master version. I know Baseball Demo said that he never did get to where he was playing it. I guess you can do some other home brewed boards that are kind of a mixture of the two, but he had said that he had never got to where he had actually mastered this itself. There's a score sheet hidden in the middle of all that. Okay, so that's a score sheet, and then looks like okay, so they got the directions for the master version. I don't know if the hilarity of this will translate, but I asked Kurt Berglin about it, and he said that this game reminded him of a man who was going bald and doing a comb over to try to cover it, and that just cracked me up. I laughed about that for 15 minutes. For some reason, that struck me as really funny. So again, mixed reactions on that, but if I had the game, I wanted to have this again, at least to look into it, and to based on what I like and don't like, I think that this would be something I would prefer. But again, if it's too clunky, I know that's one issue with Inside Pitch, is that there's a little bit too much looking up and things, and so historically, I want realism, but not at the expense of it being too clunky. And so again, Inside Pitch is a great game. One day I will get to that, but at this point, it's just a little further than I want to go. But so anyway, that was that. So I've got the Master version, and then we got the game itself. So let me go ahead and get this stuff out of here. The box is kind of clunky. So get that all out of the way. Okay, so we'll start with the game itself. The box is nice. I noticed that on the other people playing the game. So it comes in a really nice box, which will look nice on the bookshelf. Hopefully that won't be the only place it will be. But so it looks like it come with some World Series teams. This is 2020. Oh, cool. So this is actually 2021. So this is last year. So I'm guessing this would be the Braves and the Astros, would be my guess. Oh, okay. I guess I can tell from the envelopes. That is a really cool thing about APBA, is that they give you these already. These are nice, and So it looks like he actually got 4 teams. So Atlanta, Houston, Los Angeles, and Tampa Bay. So I guess those were, I know Atlanta and Houston was in the World Series, and I guess these were the 4 that made it to the league championship. So that's cool. So I wasn't for sure if it came with any players or any cards itself, but so as you see, I did get a season, but so that's really cool. So I do like the cards. To be honest, I thought they looked bigger on television than this. They, but I mean, I'm sure these are fine. I think they're basically like playing cards size and the same consistency. I'll pull one out of my season and look. So, but anyway, that's cool. Got a couple or 4 extra teams, and of course, you have to have the shaker. Oh, I was gonna say, where'd the dice go? So when you got your little markers there for your board. Some videos I saw, it looked like that your red one was bigger than the white one, but these are the same size, and they're both itty bitty, which is about the same size you get from Stratomatic. But it's a nice sound. That is one thing that appeals to me is the shaker. Again, that's just kind of APBA, part of the allure. So we got what we have here. So it looks like kind of an intro about the game and what it includes. Okay, so this is a score sheet. I'm always interested in new score sheets. As most of you know, I really like Bob Carpenter's score sheets. And then they give you, I'm sorry, make this so you can see it. Give you the lineups for those 4 teams that were included in the 2021. So that's really cool. A lot of games haven't even come out with their 2021 yet. So again, not a big fan of modern baseball, but that could learning to play, that might be fun to kind of see how some of those teams play out. And so it looks like I got the big board. Looks like it's going to take a bit of space on the tabletop, but my eyes are getting less than they were. So as I was asking around, trying to get some information about the game, there were a few folks who suggested that before I tackle the master game that I kind of get the basic game down. So that's what I will do. I can't remember. It may have been Tony at Cards and Dice TV, but somebody had said something about, one of the negatives to APBA is that it's kind of simple, but it plays quick. And so that the obvious advantage to that is that you can get in a lot of games in a short amount of time. And so that would be something that, if I was wanting to do a replay, you might sacrifice a little bit of depth in order to get more games in. So I thought that was a valid point. I think that was Tony that said that. And we have just a piece of cardboard. Here we have the infamous or famous board that came with it. That comes with it. So I see this a lot on APBA Brian's channel and others. So again, these 2 items go hand in hand. So let me show you the season I got. One advantage to getting other games is that you can get seasons that you can't get in your game. And this is Cards and Dice. So I got the 1946 season. That's a season I really enjoy. That was the first year after the war. So most of the good ball players had come back from the war, and it's just kind of like a reboot almost from the war years. Stratomatic is just coming out with 1947 this year. It should be due out at the end of the month to where you can pre-order it. And so I figured with them doing 47, it probably would be a long time, or probably never, before they got to 46, with it being so close. So I thought that that would be a good year to get in APBA, because I don't have this in any other cards and dice game that I have. So let me see if I can get out and look at some of the cards here. Again, without tearing up my box here. Oop, they got tape on the back too. This is like my mom's Christmas presents. She just tapes them to death. It's a challenge to get in. So it was inspected by 8R, maybe. So that's good. I hope 8R is a good inspector. So here we go. I do like that. That has an appeal to it. So let me see what the cards. So this is early win. Looks like he 1946 stats. I think this is when I'm new to APBA, so if I say something that offends any APBA people, please forgive me. These are just, I'm trying to get information. So if somebody tells me something, I imagine there's another 2 or 3 people who would disagree vehemently with it. But as I was doing some research, they said some of the older seasons kind of needed some tweaking. But the information that I got is that the 1946 season looked like it was in pretty decent shape. As I understand it, they were saying some of the older seasons, and they kept pointing out 1930 for some reason, and 34, I believe, but that the pitcher grades needed some tweaking because they really hadn't, when they came out originally, really needed a little work. So again, if you disagree with that, don't shoot the messenger. That's just something I got. But the one person in particular said that they thought the 46 season was a nice addition. So again, I guess I had, again, the cards looked a little bigger on TV. So I would like them to have been a little bigger. And it also, I always thought they were actually like playing card stock, the same kind of paper, but it's actually more of a cardboard than a playing card. Playing cards are, pretty stiff. So, but I mean, you don't have to do any shuffling with these, and I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just something that I had thought just by watching, because this is the first time I have ever held an APBA card in my hand. So those are just some observations from a newbie. Again, Tony at Cards and Dice did a really interesting video about the allure of the APBA cards and kind of what they're going for. And obviously the allure probably doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but I thought it was an interesting video how that he kind of made the point that that this more about the player than the stats. And so, I thought it was interesting. But this particular season looks like it has the stats. It's got the year, which I actually prefer. I want to know what year I have in my hand, and I like to know at least some basic stats. That's one thing about Stratomatic. I play the Super Advanced, but unfortunately the stats are on the back of the card. So when I'm playing Super Advanced, I have to flip the card to see the stats, and that's one thing about Super Advanced Strat that I don't like. But usually I'm playing it with the computer along, so I can see the stats on the computer, so all is well. So anyway, let's see here. So it looks like that would be Washington. I know Dave Gardner just did a video where he couldn't find the team name and was terribly alarmed about it. So I do agree it would be nice to have it a little bit more prominent, but looks like we got Washington there. And that's not, usually Washington is abbreviated WAS, but still, if that's what it is, I can figure that out. This does have all the master symbols, and again, as I was researching online at their different seasons, there were some that said only single something or another. So I gathered from that they weren't as detailed for the master version as these are. So again, you'll see that quite often, that when a game company are putting out seasons, they'll be, as they progress, they make more advancements and more adjustments, and then the seasons that were created before that adjustment don't have those adjustments. Like, for example, my 1983 Stratomatic set that I bought originally doesn't have a lot of the advancements, the super advanced things that, the modern cards do. So anyway, it should be a very interesting year. Let's see if they are in teams. Okay, so that's Eddie Yost, and he's with Washington. So it looks like they might have the teams together. I hope so. Let's see if we get 3. Yep, Washington. So it looks like they've got the teams all together, so that's great. So anyway, I know 46, I think Stan Musial had a very good year. Joe DiMaggio was back from the war, and again, it was just kind of I have a book called The Victory Season that's about the 1946 season, and it's very interesting. So again, kind of a reboot, a season I've always been interested in. Didn't have it in any other cards and dice, so as long as I was getting the new APBA game, I thought that would be a great season to get, and so I am pleased with my purchase. And again, this comes with the envelope, so it's funny, they start in alphabetical order, so quite often you get an idea of what, if you know much about baseball, you know what the season is by looking at it. So like, for example, you know that Baltimore isn't here, so if you know much about baseball history, you know that this was pre-54 at least, because Boston is the first team. So got Berglin. So I wonder if they have there's two, no, yeah, there's 2 Bostons. I didn't know if they had Boston National, but they don't, so I might have to write that in so I can know that I've got the Red Sox and not the Braves. So yeah, 46, great year. Like I said, if I remember, again, I could be wrong. I think it was the Cardinals and Tigers in the World Series. I could be wrong, but at any rate, should be a lot of fun. So needless to say, I will have a version of some gameplay once I kind of get a couple under my belt on the channel, and so be looking out for that. I've been playing quite a bit on the side. I just figured that most people don't want to see every game I'm replaying. It gets a little old, so I'm still doing my 1983 Astro replay, and it's still going very badly. We went to Los Angeles and have lost 2 really tough games. The bottom of the 8th, the first game we were there, Pedro Guerrero hit a 3-run home run, which put him ahead for good, and then the second game we lost that one as well. So again, the good thing is they were 0-9 when they started. So, and then also I've been doing my 54 replay, Milwaukee Braves replay, and that's going very well. They're like 9 games ahead of what they were at the time. So still doing a lot on the side. Just didn't want to bore everybody with every game. So, but anyway, jumping into some new ground here. I'm sure there's a lot of APBA people out there. I always love the comments, but especially now because I don't know much about APBA. Again, up until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a master game of this. So, brand new territory for me, and would appreciate any input and help anybody has. Plus, I just enjoy the comments. So, anyway, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you next time.